Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to start with the first unit of biology, which is the cell, the fundamental unit of life. So now let us start with the introduction to cell. So dear student, you know there are about 4 millions of living organisms, which includes the Monera, Protista, fungi, plants and animals. But out of these 4 millions of living organisms, only 1.2 millions are the animal species and 0.5 millions are the plant species. And these organisms, they show biodiversity, means they are different from each other, not only in their shape, size and structure, but also they have different function. And if we take a simple example of a building, so what you know, if we take a simple example of a house or a building, suppose this is a building or a house, then what you see that the main composition of this building is the bricks. Or if you consider the example of a floor, then our floor mainly it is composed of tiles. In the similar way, what happen in case of living organisms, cells, they are main building blocks of all the living organism. So this was just an introduction to the cell, that what is the cell. Now let us talk about cytology. Cytology term, it was first coined by Oscar Hartwig. This is the name of the scientist. So first it was coined by Oscar Hartwig in his book, and the name of that book was Cells and Tissues, where Oscar Hartwig studied the structure and composition of a cell. Firstly, the cytology term was coined by Oscar Hartwig in his book The Cells and the Tissue, where he studied that how a cell is composed of, okay, and or you may say what is the structure of a cell. And finally, who is known as the father of cytology? So if we talk about the father of cytology, then Robert Hooke is known as the father of cytology. Okay, so cytology, simply how you can define the cytology? Cytology is again composed of two words, cyto plus logy. Cyto means the cell and the logy means the study. Or simply, now how we can define cytology? Cytology is that branch of biology which deals with the study of structure and composition of a cell. Okay, but nowadays what happened, this term cytology is replaced by another term, and that term is the cell biology. So how cell biology is different from the cytology? In case of cell biology, we will study, or you can say cell biology is that branch of biology in which we study about the structure of a cell along with its function. Means study of structure as well as the function of a cell. Function of a cell include the life processes, okay, like the respiration, the nutrition, the excretion. Okay, so how we can define the cell biology? So cell biology, it is the branch of biology that deals with the study of structure of a cell along with its function. Now, who is known as the father of modern cell biology? So, father of modern cell biology. So, C.P. Swanson, it is the name of a scientist, C.P. Swanson. So, C.P. Swanson is known as the father of modern cell biology. So, what we have studied here, again I am repeating, cytology. In the cytology branch of biology, only we study about the structure of a cell. While in case of the cell biology, it is that branch of biology in which we study the structure of a cell along with its function. Okay, now let us start with the characteristics of a cell. So let us start. As you know, what is the cell? So cell is what? Cell is simply the structural and functional unit of life. So if you talk about the cell, then what is cell? Cell is the basic structural and functional unit of all living organisms. Okay, now if we talk about the characteristics of a cell, then what happened? The first characteristic is that all the living organism, or simply you can say cell is the building blocks of all living organism. So if we talk about the characteristics of a cell, so what is the first characteristic? That cell is the building blocks. As I have given you the example of a floor, that floor is mainly composed of tiles. In the similar way, all the living organism, or you may say the building blocks of all the living organism is the cell. So first characteristic is that cell is the building blocks of all living organisms. Second one, that every organism start its life as a single cell and different cell perform different function. So again, what is the second point? That every organism or every living organism starts its life as a single cell and each cell perform its own function. Okay, and the third one is that we know as the cell is the basic structural unit, but when the cells join they forms tissue. Tissue joins to form the organ, organ joins to form the organ system, and organ system finally form organism. So what is the organization of a organism? Cell is the basic unit, cells joins to form the tissues, tissues joins to form the organ, organs joins to form the organ system, and organ system form a complete organism or an individual. Okay, and what happen if in case of living organism, the old and the worn out cell? I am using the word worn out. So worn out means what? Worn out means the damaged cell. तो क्या होता है कि जो डैमेज, जितने भी सेल डैमेज हो जाती हैं वो किससे रिप्लेस हो जाती हैं? दे ऑल आर रिप्लेस्ड विद द new cell. So again this is the main characteristic feature, that the old and worn out cells are replaced with the new cells. Okay, so these are the main characteristic feature, that cell is the building blocks. Second, every organism start its life as a single cell, and finally the sequence of organization, and lastly we have discussed that old and worn out. Old and worn out simply means the damaged cell, that these are replaced with the new cells. Is it okay? Continuously all the damaged cell, they all get replaced by the new cell. Now if we talk about that how a cell is discovered. Okay, so now let us start with the discovery of a cell, that how a cell is discovered. So our concept is about the discovery of cell, that how a cell came into existence. So what happened? First of all, Robert Hooke, he was a scientist. What happened? He observed a cell under the thin slice, or you can say a small slice of a bark. Okay, now what is bark? Suppose this is a tree. Okay, this is the example. Suppose this is a stem of a tree. तो stem के ऊपर क्या होता है? This जो brown portion, this reddish brown portion, this is the bark of the stem. This is known as the bark of the stem. Robert Hooke, first of all, Robert Hooke, he take the slice of a bark of the stem, and he observed that bark of the stem under a microscope. And what he observed? So first of all, what happened? Robert Hooke, he observed, उसने क्या observe किया? He observed slice of cork. ओके, कॉर्क क्या होता है? कॉर्क इज अ नेम ऑफ टिश्यू, और ये कॉर्क टिश्यू किसका है? कॉर्क टिश्यू, इट इज अ टिश्यू ऑफ बार्क ऑफ स्टेम. ओके, तो रॉबर्ट हुक ने क्या किया? फर्स्टली ही ऑब्जर्व द स्लाइस ऑफ ए कॉर्क अंडर द माइक्रोस्कोप. Then what he observed? He observed, suppose this is the thin piece. Okay, then what he observed? He observed honeycomb like compartments. Compartment, you may say just the little rooms. So compartment in this way, In this way, what he has observed? He observed these honeycomb-like compartments, and he gave the name cell to these small room, or these are the honeycomb-like compartments. So the Robert Hooke, he gave the name cells to these compartments. So in this way, a cell came into existence. So a cell was discovered. But the cell which was discovered by the Robert Hooke, it was a dead cell. Okay, the cell discovered by the Robert Hooke, it was a dead cell, and he observed the, again I am repeating that how Robert Hooke observed the cell. He observed the cell under the microscope, ठीक है, by taking or by considering a slice of cork, and he observed honeycomb like compartments, and he gave the name cell to these compartment. Okay, but the living organism, or you may say the living cell, not the organism, living cell was firstly discovered by Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Anton von Leeuwenhoek, he discovered the living cell in the pond of water, or you can write in a water pond. So dead cell was discovered by the Robert Hooke, and a living cell is discovered by the Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Okay, so this was about the discovery of a cell. Now we will talk about the historical background of a cell. Historical background of a cell. So firstly, dead cell. Dead cell was discovered by Robert Hooke. And the living cell, as we have discussed earlier, it was discovered by Anton van Leeuwenhoek. Anton van Leeuwenhoek. Nucleus was discovered by Robert Brown, and protoplasm was discovered by Purkinje. Later on, we will talk about the nucleus and protoplasm, that what is the nucleus and protoplasm. But if we talk about the historical background, then firstly all these things were observed. Dead cell was discovered by the Robert Hooke. Living cell was discovered by Anton van Leeuwenhoek. Nucleus was discovered by the Robert Brown, and the protoplasm was discovered by Purkinje. Now let us talk about the next concept, which is the cell theory. So what happened? Cell theory, firstly it was discovered by the two scientists. One is Schleiden and one is Schleiden and Schwann. Schleiden was the botanist and Schwann was the zoologist. Zoologist and botanist, you know, botanist who study about the plants and zoologist who study the animals. Okay, so Schleiden and Schwann, both they coined the cell theory. So what happened in case of cell theory, or you can say what are the characteristics of a cell theory? So cell, what do you know, that all the living organism in the ancient time, there was just 2-3 points, that all the living organisms, they are made up of cells. Okay, and secondly, cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Okay, but if we talk about the modern cell theory, then what happen in case of modern cell theory, there is added one more term. अदर वो सेम, पहले के जो पॉइंट थे कुछ वो थे, 1 और 2 3 पॉइंट्स जो थे वो ऐड किए गए. तो फर्स्ट क्या था? फर्स्ट पॉइंट, एज इट वाज प्रीवियसली डिस्कस्ड, दैट ऑल लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स आर made up of cells. Okay, second is cell is the functional unit, functional and structural unit of all living organisms. You know already. And what was the third point? A term was added, and that term was discovered by a scientist, and that scientist is Rudolf Virchow. Rudolf Virchow, he gave a term, and that term was omnis cellula acellula. Omnicellula acellula, it means that all the new organisms, they arise from the pre-existing ones. So omnicellula acellula means all new cells arises from pre-existing cells. Okay, but nowadays this point given by the Rudolf Virchow, it was added in the modern cell theory. And the fourth point is, now it is considered as the third point. So what is the fourth point? As we have studied that every organism starts its life, every organism starts its life as a single cell, and each cell performs its own function. Okay, and last one is the function. That function is what? What is the function of a living organism? So what is the function? Function is the sum of all the activities. So what is the function of a organism? Function is the sum of all the activities performed by living organisms. So these are the characteristic feature of modern cell theory. Again I am repeating that all the living organisms, they are made up of cell. Then cell is the functional and structural unit of life. Third, all new cell arise from the pre-existing one. Fourth, each organism start its life as a single cell. And fifth one, function of all the organism is the sum of all the activities performed in the living organism. But there are some of the exceptions of the cell theory. Means all the organisms, they are not made up of cell. So in that case, cell theory, it gets fail. So what are the exceptions? Next is the exceptions of cell theory. Exception means what? Exceptions means all the living organisms, they are not composed of cell. For example, the viruses. Viruses, they are not made up of cell. They are the nucleotide protein particles. They are the nucleoprotein particles, means whenever they live outside the body of organism, they are not harmful, but whenever they enter into the living organism, they may cause harm. And what is the second exceptional case? That is the bacteria and blue-green algae. BGA stands for here blue-green algae, or you may call it as cyanobacteria. And the third one is the some mold fungi. Some mold fungi, they are also acellular. A means without, cellular means made up of cells, so they are without the cells. So these are the three exceptions of cell theory. Okay, cell theory exceptions, I know you understood about the exception means the organisms, they are not all organisms are made up of cells. Now take a recap. Today what we have discussed about the characteristics of cell, and secondly we have discussed about the discovery of cell, and then we have studied about the historical background, and finally the cell theory. With this, thank you very much.